That notebook was being held very protectively. I was noticing that on stage. Rolster here with the first pick. Do prioritize Rattel again. The bans again. That Jack's taken out. Really the same story. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The onus over on Darkun.
And they take Diana, they take Renekton, so that could be two solo laners, could be a jungle in their Instagraves pick up here though for Rolster.
Because Rolster know Darkun very likely look at game number one and say, okay, well, we needed to give a better carry away, but Kha'Zix had a little bit of a pick character. That was the problem. And so Rolster say, you're not going to get Jax, you're not going to get the Graves. At that point, I don't know what you pull out in the jungle with Fiora also taken. That's the three hardest carry junglers out of the pool. And yeah, Darkun pull out the Kha'Zix again.
This time though, Twisted Fate is on the other side. That was the other pick that was taken here, which feels pretty good at helping these Graves and Fiora hunt down this Kha'Zix.
I'm going to be real with you. As far as I'm concerned, Rolster are demolishing this draft.
Good so far. Luna gonna break my heart and move away from Corki for a game, but Zyra pretty good as well.
As I was just talking about, the Koreans do like their Xayah. I'm not the biggest Xayah fan. I do really prefer Corki. I think Xayah struggles sometimes to play aggressively, but they have other tools for that in this draft. You have the Twisted Fate, you have the Graves.
Whoa! Is this our first Leona item?
Second.
That's what I thought.
One of the Latam teams.
Definitely not a champion we see all that often.
She's right on the edge of viability as far as I'm concerned. I would go with other picks first. The big thing she does have, though, that this team needs is hard engage.
A lot of hard engage.
That Solar Flare is still very good engage tool, and with the Twisted Fate removed, kind of the only way Darkun Star fights is with the full commit of YK or Yo here, either on the Diana or the Renekton. So having an alternative tool, using that Leona Solar Flare to start fights, combos very well with the Diana, combos very well with the Renekton. I see the logic, but it does mean they're going to be a little bit squishier on the tank front than some other alternatives. It's not the hugest problem. Rolster have no tanks to speak of. It does mean that there's going to be a lot of emphasis on Emo's ultimates. If he lands those Solar Flares, they're in business. If he doesn't, they're in trouble.
And if maybe the plan is to, again, make sure Hueber is picking up a lot of the farm, perhaps Hueber can come play to the Leona lane, right? Leona does have enough CC to lock down the likes of Xayah and Rakan, which is typically not an easy thing to do, and try and pick on Luna a little bit, perhaps, if they want to, right? The way Darkun have worked with their jungle is Hueber just goes off and farms, right? When everything else is happening. But perhaps you can alter it up with a pick like Leona and look to get Kha'Zix into those lanes as well.
One of the problems with Leona in lane is the lanes are much shorter than they are in PC League of Legends. So if you full engage on Leona in PC League of Legends, you have the room to get very likely another rotation of engage off before the other players are back behind their turret. Whereas in Wildrift, you get the Zenith Blade, you get the stun, and then they're back behind their turrets. You got to kill them real fast. One of the only characters that can do that, Kha'Zix.
All right, well, real fast is the name of the game, and Doe is going to dodge the incoming Zenith Blade.
And some Team Queso flashbacks there.
Yeah.
We were gaming.
Feels like, you know, every one game in every series, we're going to get the people running down to the little bush. As, a little bit of, I haven't seen this too much, but Rattel actually going to help Isaac push in very early here.
Yeah, you do this if you want to boost your top laner out ahead. It makes sense because of the speed at which you can get back to top lane. So Rattel gets some of his CS there, and he's going to be able to get into the top lane without missing an equivalent amount.
Also, I think Spotted Quaver, because that Scry's Bloom did get popped by Isaac, if it's there. Seen a lot of that actually from Z. That's something he was doing in a lot of his lanes with the early prior. So as you can see, Isaac, a little low on XP, but he'll be just fine. Twisted Fate, not so interested in doing much other than farming until he gets 5, and then the ulti can start to affect him up as per usual.
Yeah, Isaac does have a pretty good matchup into Diana. The Diana is chosen against Twisted Fate because she can survive the matchup. She can punish Twisted Fate if he gets a little too frisky. But at the same time, you're not going to be killing that TF. He can sit behind his turret, he can hold his gold card. He's not teleporting.
So even a little extra tax there. Just gets the way pushed in. Quaver also showing in mid.
This is an Isaac game. Sometimes it's an Isaac game and Isaac gets all the gold. This is not.
Almost feels like a Doe game, honestly. I mean, after the game one, I can't really blame them.
Well, it's the Graves. Whenever you're playing the Graves in the jungle, you want him to get as much gold as possible, so they are intentionally incentivizing extra CS into their pocket to get the carries for Rolster are over there on the top side.
That was such a sick little bit of movement there from Luna, dodging on that Skinner's blade. They wanted to see it as they were getting in onto Isaac, but nothing happening here.
Yeah. Decent amount of gold into Doe's pocket. He's going to be able to recover that now as they head on up towards the scuttle. Lock it down. Perfect timing for this upcoming Rift Herald over there on the top side.
Crab going down there. Weber is going to get some assistance to make sure he can take that objective. But Doe is just farming up a storm right now.
Yup. This is real good for Rolster. Doe, very scary on this Graves. Rattel, early lead up in the top lane is going to be generated because he's going to catch the wave that YK is pushing in right now. He just finished backing. Rolster even winning down bottom. This is their weak side, but Luna and Salem are experts in surviving these tough lanes without support. DKG, if they want to turn this around, need to get out on the board early as soon as Weber feels comfortable. Now that he's hit level 5, needs to start showing up and finding gold, finding kill opportunities.
Isaac also level 5, going to take it back here. Ooh, nice interplay redirect on the Salem. Not enough lockdown, but actually does get the flash out, but Emo so low at the end of that, has to walk away.
You just can't tank here on Wildrift on Leona. You just take those hits and it hurts. Luna manages to dodge out on being hit by the solar flare properly and deals the damage necessary to turn things around. Emo is to back away. Wind at no point is comfortable in range, just pumping out orders. That's not a situation he lives in that lane.
No eyes on that first. Big objectives are popping up in 25 seconds. Looking at Isaac, who doesn't have the Rod of Ages quite finished yet, but does, of course, have the ulti. So ready on either side of the map they want to play to. I love this from Salem, too, actually, just hanging around in case of emergency.
We're 10 seconds away from this Rift Herald, which would normally mean you can't back right now, but Isaac, of course, has ultimate. So he resets rather late, picks up Rod of Ages. And he'll be in range to ulti should this spike pop up early.
Weber spotted. Yeah, there's a ward that he was trying to clear out. Oh, Emo face checks it. And now they're going to try and make him pay. Isaac just walking back to lane with the gold card there. He's going to lock down Emo, but the solar flare is going to turn it back around. The culling is massive. But Salem's going to block it. There's the stun, but Isaac's too low.
Salem made so much damage there. That was brilliant Rakan play. Manages to keep Isaac alive through Wind's entire ultimate. He's still here, ready to play. However, it did force a back from Isaac. He's going to be reset. DKG want to take advantage of this opportunity. Here we go.
Still has the ult though. Salem pop the quickness. Looking for the play. Backline, they go away with the target. First blood on the table. But it does go over to YK and they're still going for it. Isaac is trying to take that Weber, but Weber is still fighting. Finally, dives to Doe and he got a double kill.
Isaac held on to that for so long. He didn't finish off Weber so that Doe could get the kill. He waited for so long. They are feeding gold. They're handing gold over to Doe on the Rolster side. They are so desperate to get this Graves out ahead. And Pastry, it is working.
Yeah, 1,500 gold ahead right now for Doe. Got the Herald as well to maybe deploy and get even more gold into the pockets as we watch this one again. This is quite a nice little Act 3 play we have for you.
Yeah, watch the initial engage, obviously. Salem popping off here with the Charmed 9. YK is full engage, clustering everyone together with an ideal fight. But then very top, watch this. Isaac doesn't even auto-attack Weber. Waits for Doe to come through, giving him the double kill.
And even though it was YK that got the first blood, the big recipient is still the Graves that Rolster are trying to grow bigger and bigger into this mid-game. As the Dragon is going to be started by DKG. There is resistance though. Not enough.
Drake will be picked up. Not a huge worry for Rolster because they're going to take this time to try and take the mid turret. Here's Mo and Yo for the combo as they arrive here.
Yo is just forcing YK away here. Level 9 Graves. That's the highest level in the game.
That's upsetting. I'm going to be real with you.
Look at him. He's bullying him. Oh, Salem tried for the fanciest play, or Grand Entrance perhaps tapped there as lockdown here onto Doe.
No!
It's not the gold you want to feed back over. It is Emo that collects it as DKG come back alive.
Rolster kind of get a little wild here. Rift Herald wasted in the middle of the map for no real conceivable reason as Rolster, who do have a bad habit of misusing those Rift Heralds, do exactly that. And then they, instead of just taking the easy gold, farming the turret, Doe insists on diving behind the tier 1, which backfires, cost both him and Salem their lives. And I do not know what you do about this now as Rolster. You've just lost so much of the momentum you earned.
Just going out, DKG to make sure to pick it up. Thankfully, for the Rolster squad, there are no additional pickups there, but that is an uncharacteristic play for a team so patient and deliberate as Rolster.
Yeah, Salem did not die on the map. He only died in my heart when he went for that grand entrance. I was like, oh, he's dead, and I ignored him. Upon viewing the replay, he did not die.
No, they decided to kill the 2 Killgraves instead.
Yeah.
It was like a bit of
which is huge. Still a massive gold lead in Doe's pocket, just because of how much they fed him during the early game. Hopefully, there's a little bit more restraint, respect, sanity over on the Rolster side.
We're at it again. Emo going to be the target again. Not that tanky, but pretty tanky.
Top turret falls. DKG have the gold lead as they take the first turret of the game in the top lane and hold their bottom turret.
I can kind of see what you're saying, though, right? Where it's like, this does look a bit uncharacteristic for Rolster, because it does seem like they are trying so hard to get this Grave golden kills. And, like, almost too hard. Like, you don't need to overplay this much. You already have the lead. Just let it farm.
And the sequence of plays that were just played suboptimally, I think, because Rolster felt they were in such a dominant lead, has really cost them. That Rift Herald usage mid completely wasted the team, what they team forward for. Then they go way over aggressive in the top lane.
Weber looking to assassinate Luna. Gonna be good enough indeed. Jumps in, gets himself the reset.
That's 2.
Oh, that looks like 2 on my screen. And TJ's right. Weber's gonna nab the double.
Not bad at all by Dark Hunt. They are not a team to be disrespected. And they are well into the control of this game now, with Weber repairing so much of what went wrong early. Rolster need this Rift Herald.
Not enough people here. That's you. Going straight in for it there.
Good
Dashing back around. Very nice indeed as Emo looks for the ulti. Doesn't find it. Rolster in full retreat though.
Yeah, they don't have the resources here to teamfight this in any way, shape, or form.
Walking in, gets stunned. Does okay. Salem on the offense. Isaac has gone in with the TF ulti. Emo with the lockup though. But now Rattel's going to join the fray. YK stunned and killed. They somehow get an exit kill.
There's a very strange energy on Rolster here as our Twisted Fate teleports in onto Leona. And I'm not quite sure what to make of that face train.
I mean, you know, typically the support is the softest target on the Rift, but not in this game. Emo's relatively bulky right now.
Yeah, he has gargoyles. Not an easy kill. And it nearly went very wrong. Rolster do obviously benefit from that fight, grabbing YK, but they lose the Rift Herald. And that means that DKG continue to maintain a gold lead here over Rolster. Rolster are going to need to win these team fights. They need to force these 5v5s and be much more organized about how they set up for them, rather than the last fight where they kind of just wandered into it one by one.
Significant gold lead as well. Almost 3,000 gold ahead. And they finally, through sheer force of will, do kill this Leona, and with the Infernal Dragon just spawning, that is perfect timing.
I think Gargoyles was on cooldown last time they TF ulted in. So now 4v5, still dangerous.
Weber not here, by the way. Now going in for the steal! That's the big one! The Infernal Dragon going to DKG. Weber will pay the blood price, but that is worth it.
Worth it any day of the week! Teleport in, Isaac wants recompense, and YK tears him.
Ooh, in we go. Oh, looking for the softer target in the backline, but no one can get through there. Instead, it's Rolster taking the tower instead.
What a play from Weber. He weaves through an entire team fight in a 4v5 and delivers on the most important dragon of the game to Darkun, maintaining their gold lead. Rolster will get that turret, do get some control of the map back from the experience. But that is not what you want if you're trying to turn this game back around.
Yeah, there it was. Replay of Leona. That's just a straight face check out of the Gargoyle Stone plateless Leona, but Weber is still here to save the day.
Yeah, get another look at how he got into position for that. Sitting out at the bottom here, through the bush. Rattel is kind of searching for him, but he's behind the control, playing a stealth game. Pops in, makes him steal. Easiest thing of his life.
There's dead, but again, well worth it there. As, it is Luna that picks up the gold, which is valuable, certainly, for the 2-item Xayah, scaling up into this game. Gold card here for Isaac's looking for someone, but the Rift Tower's going to get popped. It is aggression out of the rest of DKG as Yo's just diving on in there. And they're going to get the tower, they get the kill. The Twisted Fate is dead. A double kill there for Diana. As now Rattel just completely forced out. That's 3. Yo got a triple kill.
A slaughter in the mid lane for DKG. And this might even be game, as they have quite a quick game time. They've got a full minion wave here. Rift Herald's going to get another charge. This inhibitor is under serious threat. 10 seconds on the respawns, Pastry.
Nexus open, and Shelly's just going to peter out as they will retreat. But 4 kills. In fact, Salem just died somewhere in amongst the chaos.
And that's how you use a Rift Herald. What team play from Darkon. Watch the synergy here. They know they have the tools necessary to open this up, and it's all planned out. Set play. You're looking at the Leona's Solar Flare immediately upon the defenders, meaning Isaac can't use his full kit, and he's instantly followed up on Yo dives in, Moonfall, followed up again by the front line. YK soaking the damage. The turret's gone as an afterthought. And sure, it sucks that the top lane, or the top side of that fight does include Emo dying, but you know, you make trades, you make sacrifices.
Well worth it, certainly, for Darkon Gaming, who, remember, still trying to keep themselves in this series. Losing the first game, surprisingly, up against Rolster to kick this off, and now in full control of this game.
Look at how aggressively Isaac is just banned his Destiny game, just to make sure Darkon aren't on the Baron.
Salem on quickness, they're just going for it, but Rolster, this is not the team I know. This is not patient, this is not deliberate, this is madness, and that is where DKG can thrive, as Emo is going to get the stun onto Do to follow through with YK already obliterating the rest of them, and yes, Emo will not die this time around, as that is the ace and the game, as we will have a third bout between these two teams.
The first game 3 in Darkon's tournament run, as they attempt to stave off the first loss of their tournament run. They drop some emotes outside the Nexus.
They're chilling. Don't worry, the game's over. Let's get away from the minion wave. And here it is, a final lap around the enemy Nexus as Darkon Gaming are going to even it up.